All right. So, for anyone who doesn't know, who are you and how did you meet Chris King?
My name is Sabrina Gennarino, and I met Chris, and I think exactly. He reached out to me, basically. He followed me, on Twitter, and then pretty much started, now it's under Otaco Studios, whatever the hell that is. I forgot he switched something around. Oh, bear with me.
No worries.
It's been a long,
Tell me about that discovery process. What was it like for you?
Last night?
Yeah.
I'm hurt. So a fan who I just love and adore and is amazing and wonderful, who I would even consider a friend, I suppose, at this point. Right as I was going to bed, I got a message from Chris saying, hey, I'm changing my name to this, and it's Otaco Studios. Like, basically, it came from Otaco Studios, which was PingPongCall. But now he says, but my thing is going to be this, right? And I'm like, what? That's kind of right. As I was reading that, the fan, messaged me and said, hey, I just thought you should know there's some serious shit basically going on about Chris, and his GoFundMe has been shut down for fraud and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Oh my God, that's terrible. This poor man. I'm still like, this poor man. I am so sorry to hear that. Is everything okay? And da-da-da. And she's like, oh, no. You need to go research this. And then I put in his handle and found you and Mary and Richard Lewis and everything you guys were doing. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? You've got to be fucking kidding me. So, I'm crushed, Nick. Look, to start with, okay, here we go. March 11th, he reached out. So since March 11th. So I'm crushed. To give you a little personal background, my father died of cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. So, it's a sensitive subject for me. So somebody telling me they have cancer and everything that's involved in that, I cannot believe for 1 second somebody would lie about that. Additionally, he showed me pictures, and I've spoken to his wife on Twitter a few times, supposedly now, I guess, his wife, supposedly his son, who was using his account. So it's, I'm extremely sensitive to something like that. So, when he has a GoFundMe and they require certain things. So I believed him, and I believed the things that he was saying. And I went out to the incredible, amazing, kind, giving, loving Walking Dead family. I'm on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't say that. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm on The Walking Dead.
I have never seen the show personally, but I want to know who you play. So, when I do watch it, I can be like, there's Sabrina.
Yeah. I play a character, Tamiel. We're a new group that was introduced in season 7. The Heapsters, a.k.a. Garbage People, a.k.a. Traitors, a.k.a. a bunch of stuff that the amazing fans have named us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I went out, to support this man, and they are such a loving, amazing fan base. They rallied behind me and behind him to help this man. I was just going to so you have an idea of how amazing these folks are. I was just going to do thank you cards, like handwritten autographed thank you cards, which I still haven't had time to do. That's how insane my life is right now. To anyone who donated to him, I was just going to do a thank you card. And next thing you know, these incredible people are like, hey, wait, let's really help this guy. I've got this action figure that's rare. I've got this to donate. It's, all new things. And then this amazing group called Charity Nerds comes out and says, hey, we have Walker Stalker tickets donated by Stalker Con, because they do charity work, that we're happy to donate. Stalker Con is the biggest convention, if you will, for the fan base of The Walking Dead and many other shows. Mm-hmm. And they're very hard to get, these tickets, and they're very expensive. They donated these tickets. And just the most amazing things that people donated to help him, based off me just kind of saying, I'll do thank you cards. They took the ball and ran. And then we organized the whole thing. Artists came out and drew things. The TWD artist population is monstrous, and they are all so brilliant. They donated their work, they donated their time, and we put together this whole donation list, for this much you'll get this and this, all down the line up to the Walker Stalker tickets.
How much work, would you say time-wise went into this?
Dude, a month at least. And then on top of not only organizing all of that, and then trying to gather all the information for the thank you cards, which again, I'm sorry to anybody who's listening to this. Now I'm really sorry, but I will do them, I promise. I just have to re-find all the info info once I get 5 minutes to myself. So, I mean, months. And they put in an incredible amount of time. And everybody retweeted it. And you know how people are on Twitter. They're wonderful when it comes to stuff like this.
Of course.
So my incredible fan base pulls all this together. We work out this whole thing. I do a live Instagram drawing involving my own family, including my 9-year-old daughter, to help out. So she understands what it's like to give, to make sure that people who are in a situation, we're there to give and help and support. And even have her helping. We do this whole drawing, and then all of the folks who donated those items mailed them. So we are the one giveaway, I guess. I don't know if I can say that's a good thing, that people actually got their stuff. But they went and, sent everything out to the people who won the raffle for the different items. So I'm embarrassed because I really thought, I did a brief amount of research. I won't say I, dug deep into a dude with cancer, but GoFundMe has certain requirements. He showed me pictures. I went back through his Twitter extensively, I'd say a couple of months, and he did really seem to have this awful thing, and amazing people were following him, and people much more notable than me, way more notable than me, were helping him. So I assumed they also had done their homework. And apparently we all just don't want to call anybody out or think badly of somebody who's claiming they have such a wretched, wretched thing. And there's people with non-Hodge that came out to help him, saying, oh my gosh, I've been there. I feel so bad for him and his family. How can I help? These incredible people did incredible things to help this person. And the worst fucking feeling right now is that I still can't even say, does he have cancer? It's looking like no. But nobody wants to be the POS that is saying that, because it's such a horrible, horrible disease. My father died of this. I mean, so does he? I don't know. It's not appearing to be true.
Myself and Mr. Richard Lewis spent several hours with him yesterday trying to get some sort of verification and some sort of basic shred of evidence, and Mr. King was evasive to our question. It led to his Twitter switcheroo/deletion that happened afterwards.
Wow. Well, I saw, I was up until, I think I've slept for about a couple of hours at this point, researching all the stuff that you guys have put together. Excuse me. And I saw what supposedly one of his friends put up with his medical record.
Yes.
And the misspellings and the different font and the different color. And by the way, the person who broke the news to me is not only a nurse, she's a teaching nurse who specializes in cancer and a bunch of other things.
Oh, crud.
But she said, I saw it, and it's totally fake. There are no misspellings, and I used to be pre-med, and I even know you don't write it in. There are codes that automatically add the issue. You don't physically write in, oh, now this person has this, or now this person has this. You put in a code, and the code lists.
That was one of the things that me and Mr. Lewis brought up, and he had no exact response to that.
And where's all the rest of the stuff that go along with something like that? And he told me he got a liver from a guy in Abu Dhabi that doesn't want to be, he said the downside is neither of us can drink, but I can't do that on my meds anyway. Yeah. And I'm like, a guy from Abu Dhabi? Wow. He said from Imager, I don't know how you say it.
Imgur. It's a image hosting website.
Okay, see, I'm clueless on what y'all do. I have no clue on the gaming world. I admit that.
It's all good.
Or how that stuff goes. So thank you for telling me the right way to say that. And he's like, yeah, I met him on there. And I was like, wow, oh my God, you're so blessed. I mean, here I'm thinking, there's no way somebody would lie about this. So I didn't see that. I mean, even if that was some weird, strange thing, it's like, okay, well, where's that? Where's the kidney failure? Where's the comas? Where's all the things that he's been telling me have been going on? If this is a real medical thing.
The fact that we remain unsure in itself is very telling.
Yeah.
The longer someone is hesitant to answer such a very cut and dry sort of issue, it makes one more convinced that's the case, and that's a horrible thing to say, but it's what's happening here.
I mean, do you guys know, does he really have children? Because I have a daughter, so that really played on my heartstrings too. I can't imagine my daughter without her dad. Does he even have kids? Do you guys know?
According to one of the people I spoke with who used to play a video game online with them, they heard kids in the background, so we assume that's a yes.
Oh, now I think I feel worse about that. Oh, I don't know how to feel about that. They might. Oh man. I mean, I've had fans giving clothes, mailing things to him. The person who broke the news to me actually went to a Stalker Con, paid a ridiculous amount of money to get autographs from all of us on Walking Dead made out to him to mail to him. And she sent me his address so that I could do the same because I wasn't at that one. And I still haven't done it. Or my fan mail. I'm sorry again if anybody's listening. I'm on it. So she went and did things like that for him. And I'm just like, okay, if I tear up, it's rage. It's rage and hurt. But, people going to do things like that for this person. It's going to take a minute.
I know. It's very difficult to process. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is energy. He has so much energy to go after this Merryweather person, yet no energy at all to dispel the concerns people have about his medical conditions.
Yeah, well, that's a weird thing. I mean, look, again, I don't know anything about. I did a brief thing on that. My focus was more, I'm so sorry for Mary, and we just kind of traded some tweets. I said, I'm just so sorry for you, and after reading briefly what he put you through, and I had given you my info because I was like, clearly he's a vindictive person, and when I went to do the research last night, Mary's account was down, and I had said that to the person who broke the news to me, and she's like, yeah, I noticed that too, clearly, and she told me today, be careful because he's obviously vindictive. I'm sure he had something to do with that. He probably reported Mary's account or something. So that's why I was like, let me give you my info in case he does the same to me from one of his various accounts. And if so, we're going to have an issue. So
I would hope not. I mean, if he decided to have an issue with you, that would be very unusual.
Yeah, well, he seems to be an unusual kind of guy. Look, do I want him destroyed? No. Would I ever wish something like that on another human being? No. But he needs to find a way to give the money back. And I don't know on GoFundMe for my fan base that donated to him. And certainly people aren't, who knows, this family, this TWD family, we call it, is amazing. The people that received the donation gifts, who knows, maybe they'll give them back. We can't give back Walker Stalker tickets and, any of those sorts of things. And so that's all just running through my head as well. But I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought already.
No worries.
So I can't for sure say he's lying about cancer, but I would never want to say something like that to somebody who actually does. All right, let me see here. So he reaches out to me in March. He followed me, so I followed him back. I was like, oh, cool writer. I'm a writer and producer, and obviously, and acting is my main thing. Mm-hmm. So I tend to follow people in my, people that write and are out there on their own. I want to support that,
For the good of the arts.
Yes. I want to support people like that as best as I can. Mm-hmm. And want equal support. We're all in this together. This crazy art life of ours, creative life, it's insane. So he sends, thanks for following me. And, he sent his link to some of his writings. I was like, oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So then he immediately sends, oh, sorry for the auto fire. Being a freelancer, you need to do everything in your power to get noticed. And I said, that's actually brilliant. I have got to figure that out. Uh-huh. And then he mentions, wow, you're on TWD. That's amazing. Same within minutes. Right? He says, no, I'm currently sitting in a chair, high bed, playing Horizon Zero Dawn. It's kind of all I can do. I'm kind of dying. I'm like, very funny. Are you losing or something? I'm trying to remember the conversation. I can go look it up, actually. But then he says, no, I'm actually dying.
So
basically.
You didn't know he had cancer until...
within a minute.
Yeah, you didn't follow him because of that. You followed him because of the writing part, right?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah. And then next thing I knew, I'm involved in this person that I've, just followed, don't know, is telling me he has cancer. And I'm just like, wait, what? Wait, what was that? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. And he tells me getting liver transplant soon as we get the money. I have non-Hodge, shouldn't be a problem. And then we joke a bit, which made me, I guess he's very good at that because he wasn't like, yeah, woe is me, which I thought was admirable. He was very lighthearted about it, which I thought was, because I'm one of these weird universe people, law of attraction, and the more positive you are in your life, the more, awesome things happen. And I don't know how I attracted this, but
I agree with that mentality of law of attraction.
Yeah, me too. Obviously, I just said it. So, yeah, the more positive you are, the better things are for you. And he seemed to have this amazing outlook on it. And I just thought, wow, I love that. Because if he was oh God, can you I would have felt terrible for him. but I would not have continued to be engaged, you know?
I see.
As awful as that may sound, it's like, gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know you, and this is horrible. And my father, you know, didn't die of non-Hodge, but, you know, that's just horrible. And, you know, I certainly would have stayed kind and lovely over something like that. But, you know, I would not have been as engaged with someone who's, oh, my life and this, you know. Of course, somebody going through that would have every right to feel that way. That's a horrible thing. But yeah, no, he's totally, totally positive and happy and amazing.
That was the dynamic pretty much socially?
Yeah, on the messages, very positive and, you know, jokes back and forth. And, you know, he's like, if I don't die from a gnarly infection, and we're joking. And he said, I got my liver, didn't die from, but I do have a gnarly infection. And I'm like, I'll rub some dirt on it and get to living. That's so wonderful. Because we have a saying here in my family, if something happens, you know, rub some dirt on it, you know, buck up, get going. So this is like in April. Did
you start the donation initiative, or how did that begin?
I did. After like one of the massive times he said he was dying. I'm trying to see where. And my dad, like, it's interesting. My dad didn't have this, so I'm not familiar with non-Hodge at all. But like my dad, you know, he had cancer. It was throat cancer. They removed his larynx. I'm telling all kinds of personal shit because this is really, really difficult. They removed it. He went through radiation and cancer-free for 15 years, I think it was. And then I get a call from my brother 15 years later saying, Dad's in the hospital. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, what's going on? And he said, well, all the doctors are telling me this isn't the one that's going to kill him, but they've got to do some serious investigation. All this, and this is going on. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to book a flight. He's like, yeah, you know, they're all telling me this isn't it, but yeah, you probably want to book a flight. So I did. I got a call from my brother at 4:00 that morning. He called at 11:00 at night, 4 a.m. He called to tell me my dad died. So there was no,
I'm so
there was
sorry.
none of,
I know I said that already, but
no, I'm not. Thank you. I'm just relaying all of this. You know, I'm back in the hospital with this. I'm back. And again, we're now talking 25 years ago, if you give it all in total, because it's been about 8 years, I think, for my dad. And I don't even know what year this is. Right now, I'm just like, I don't even know where I am. So we didn't have that, right? And now I would assume there's certain advancements that something happens and they can fix it. Something happens, they can fix it. You know, eventually you either get better or you die. So I didn't think anything of that either. I'm trying to see of when I think it was, so we're back and forth from March 11th. You know, correspondence on the 20th telling me this, you know, keep asking me if I'm available to talk. April 2nd, April 4, April 8, May 9. Asked me if I know anybody who could give him a job because he's looking for work.
He asked you for a job?
Yes. If I knew of any. He didn't ask me specifically. He just asked if I knew of anybody looking for freelance writers. So again, I'm thinking, wow, this is amazing. This poor man has got this horrible thing and he's still trying to work. Like, that's amazing. And then I get a thing from his wife that he's back in the hospital on May 17th. That he's back in the hospital and with his GoFundMe. And then later on, like just a few days later on May 22nd, it's Chris himself, you know, can you support on Thunderclap?
Thunderclap is, just in case anyone doesn't know, it's a social media, Twitter-related sort of thing, and Facebook-related sort of thing, where people can sign up and at a certain time and date, they all post the same message at the same time.
Thank you for that. I didn't know.
Sorry, continue.
No, that's great. I did not know what that is. So I get the thing. Oh, I send him he sends me something on like May 9th and I'm insane with working and all kinds of stuff. So I don't respond until the 17th. I'm like, hey, hope all is great. You know, I'm not all this, and this. And then I get immediately I'll pass this to my husband. He was hospitalized 2 days ago. And there's the GoFundMe campaign. And I'm just like, whoa, what? So then on
what was he hospitalized for? Say?
He doesn't say. No, he's just said he's going to be there for a while.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
So then May 22nd, he sends the Thunderclap thing, and I don't respond to any of this because I don't see it, because when I'm working, it's, 17-hour days, 6 hours of sleep, right back to work. So I don't check my messages all the time. So then I felt like even bigger shit because, I remember this. Oh my God. Because I see this from her on May 17th after I sent him a, hey, sorry, I've been going crazy and, hope all is well. So Terry, I guess his wife, sends back, and I don't think I'm breaching anything because he puts out that his wife is Terry. So I don't think I'm saying anything,
He mentions it publicly. You're good.
Yeah. I get a thing on the 17th, which I did not see until so she sends the thing on the 17th and he sends the thing on the 22nd. I don't see it until May 28th. Sooner than that. I'm trying to remember.
I've done a few stories involving film production sites. I know how busy it gets.
So I think at some point in this, we must have been trading tweets because I see the thing on the 17th, but there's not another message until the 28th, but I feel like I had already set up, put out to fans, and they were already hard at work to help him before this. So I'm sorry about that. I was telling you, check my tweets in May. That's all public.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, from there, just a bunch of stuff and helping him. And then I got, crazy busy again and still trading messages and him thanking me. And I'm like, thank the fans. I just tweeted a thing for thank you cards. They took it and ran. These people are beautiful. And so then
now you're here.
Yeah. And this goes on. I mean, all through May, June, July, and what are we in? August? No, we're in September. Wow.
October almost.
Okay, well, there you have it.
Man, I know how secretive they are in the Walking Dead set, but I assume they allowed watches.
No. No, you can't have a watch, and a lot of people don't have watches in the apocalypse. Just a few. That's a really good note, actually. I think Rick does, and a couple other people, but my group of people do not. And you'll see that if you watch season 7.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones either. My plan is just to wait patiently, very, very patiently for many years until it's just all out and just sitting down and marathoning the whole thing.
Yeah, that's best. And make sure you have nothing to do for like a week.
Yeah, I mean like a month.
Well, they only do 10 episodes. Like, we're 16, so it took a lot longer to binge. But Game of Thrones is 10, so you can get through like a season in 2 nights if you're insane like I am and have no time. So you got to really not sleep for days just to catch up on things. But it's a brilliant show. It's between I think Walking Dead and Game of Thrones are just 2 of the most incredible shows in the universe.
If you just want to give like a concluding sort of statement in general, encompassing your perspective, thoughts, feelings.
Well, look, in conclusion, not to be dramatic, but this is kind of a dramatic situation. I'm heartbroken. I'm embarrassed. I'm so upset for the family. Even my own family gave to this man. The Walking Dead family, everybody, we all, and all the people, better people than me, for sure. I'm just so sorry about it all. And I just feel terrible for the situation. I'm angry. It's hard to put thoughts around something like this, of being scammed to such a degree, and that he was so good at it that he fooled hundreds of thousands of us. Like, that's a talent, on his own. Yeah. That's a gift. Too bad it wasn't being used for good. And can I definitively say that he has cancer? I can't. Can I say that he doesn't? I can't, because I don't. That's not something that I know. It's looking the way it looks, but as a person, and the things that he has done that are proven that you guys have shown me, and even on his, I can't even string thoughts together right now, Nick, I'm so sorry. Even the fake account or whatever that he just gave me actually responded to one of his own tweets as a different person, but then later responded that it was physically him. This O Taco Studio was like, oh, this is to prove that he didn't do it. But then I scroll down and I see him saying something about Mary. He begged me to help him. I'm like, oh, so it is you. You just got lost in which handle you were using apparently right now. So just the idea, there's clearly this is, the shadiness of it all is concerning, and enough for me to cut ties and let my people know that I don't believe this is a trustworthy individual, and they should make their own judgment, but don't give him another penny. I just can't believe it. I'm still so proud of the fan base for stepping up and helping this person. They are amazing. Unfortunately for me, moving forward to try and help anyone else, I don't know that I will do that, which makes me sad. It makes me really sad that people who are really going to need help, I'm going to be very leery of doing so. And that makes me sad. And what's really pissing me off about that is this person has changed who I am, and I've never allowed anybody to do that before. I've never allowed anyone to change who I am, and now this person has done that because of what I'm going to have to do to not help people and the hoops I will myself jump through if somebody does need help, and the time it's going to take to do that, to make sure this person is real, which I thought I did. I saw pictures of him. He sent me links of him in a hospital. I saw his daughter. I spoke to his wife. I've talked to his son. I went through, months and months of his Twitter and the people that were following him and that he's communicated with. I assumed he was real and on the up and up. And based on what I researched, not just assumption. Yeah, my husband is obviously extremely upset as well for me. And he helped. And my daughter. This is all. I have to now explain to my daughter what some people will do. And that's shitty at 9.